Hey, what's going on? This is going to be a demo video, but it's slightly different because the customer who I installed this for wishes to remain anonymous, but I still need to do a demo on the functionality. So I'm just going to get right into it. This is a Spectre 6. It's installed with CFX. It's got Shtok NPXLs in there. The trigger is the activation, and then there's a toggle switch, or there's a tactile switch underneath this neoprene right here for auxiliary. And this toggle switch, when it's back like it is right now, it will ignite the blade, and then when we swap it forward, it switches to blaster mode, which I have a blue LED in here for the blaster. So to get to everything, what we want to do is we want to unscrew this pommel cap. This is my own chassis design, so I did not want to use the one that's pretty popular that goes through this door right here to get to the recharge port. I just didn't like having to unscrew these 4 bolts every time I wanted to charge it. So this is where I join the two, all my wires, right? Because I wire all the top stuff and have it coming out the board here waiting for me. Then I wire up my chassis and I bring that into the handle and then shorten all my wires and connect them right here. So if you ever open up this door, what you'll find is neatly tucked in there is all my adjoining wires. So when you take off that pommel cap, you're gonna see this. This is a 24mm bass speaker or Sabre Essential speaker, and I have a 3D printed handle on it so that you could just put your 2 fingers in there and pull it right out. So that's what the front of it looks like right there. And then the back of it has a micro DIN connector. You have a locating pin right here that helps you orientate this guy when you're putting it in. And then this hole right here in the middle just accommodates that kill key that I've got into the recharge port, and then you can see the DIN connector right there. And if I can catch the light right in my garage, hopefully you can see in there, but I will send you some better pictures. You do have access to your micro USB and to your board. You just need a pair of tweezers. So to get the kill key out, what I normally do is I just have a pair of needle nose pliers here. I'll pull this kill key out just like that. Of course, we're not going to hear anything because we don't have the speaker in. So I'm going to use my locating peg and just eyeball it a little bit. Don't want to force it. You do it a couple times, you're going to get used to it. And it goes in right just like that. Now, this is in there just enough. Sorry. This is in there just enough like that to where this pommel cap actually presses up against that speaker housing to keep everything in place. So no matter what you do with this guy, that micro DIN connector is not going to lose connection on you. And then the cap that I have over the speaker along with the handle ensures that there's no distortion in your sound because the speaker drum's not being touched. So when it comes to this trigger, you're not going to feel very much play. This thing is tight. I've installed them before where the trigger was too far out and it was dangling a little bit. I didn't like that, so I try to get as close as I can and still give you, you know, functionality. So there's no play in this guy. It's almost like you just touch it, right, and it comes on. You're not going to feel it go back and forth, but if I hold it down, it's going to turn it off. It's right on top of that tactile switch. So as you know, when you bought this secondhand, it didn't come with the black piece that usually comes with this guy. So what I did was I ordered a roll of 1/8 inch thick neoprene and I cut my own, you know, and put it on there. It worked out pretty good. I've installed a lot of Sabres. I can do a lot of things, but when it comes to cutting a straight line, for some reason, that's about the hardest thing I've ever done. I think I got it pretty good there. It looks good. I will be sending you the roll. In case you don't like what I did, it just has a sticky back. You can take this off. Maybe you can cut your own piece. If you are as critical as I am, you might see where like I could have been a little bit straighter with that guy. But it looks pretty good. It feels good. It's easy to tap the auxiliary. This does take a 7/8 inch blade. So I have a little baby test blade. We're going to throw it in. I don't even think I need to use the blade retention. Your blade retention is right there, but I don't think we need it. So we're going to tap the trigger to turn it on, just like that. Now I can just tap the auxiliary here for blaster deflex. If I held it down, of course, I get my blade lock up, right? And of course, this is the cool thing without touching the auxiliary or the activation. If I take this guy, push it forward, it makes that sound like the blade is retracting. And then if we want our blaster, we hold down the auxiliary. Now, if I just tap it, I'll get the blaster sound, but I really won't get my LED. You really need to hold down the auxiliary when you want this guy. Right? And then to get back to the blade without touching any buttons, but take this guy and move him back. And then we've got our blade back. And then, of course, just hold the trigger down. And I have shatter point on here, and then I have the corresponding sound font that's just blaster to pair it up with. Other than that, I didn't go too much further past that. I imagine that you will be perfecting the art of sound fonts on this guy. But mechanically, this thing is good to go. Nice and bright. So that is your Sabre, sir. I hope that it came out the way that you wanted it to. I hope you're satisfied with it. I will get this out in the mail Monday morning. Thank you.